Hello, my darling Capricorns. Welcome into your monthly reading. My name is Millie. This is the Ghost Bride Tarot. Now, I apologize. I've got some mowing happening next door. This is my only time to film. So I do hope that the noise is not too overbearing or overwhelming for you guys. Now, seems I don't have the right pen. Okay. Cappy, my darlings, this reading is going to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, Cappy, or anyone for that matter. If you're not a Capricorn and you found yourself here, trust where you are led, and yeah, stick around. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Only take what feels true to you. Yeah, only take what settles into the heart space and sits well, okay? I've got a whole heap of channeled messages to get through for you guys, and then we will be moving into your tarot and oracle portion. Now, I have pulled one card for you guys already. Life is a series of choices. Choose love. I'm getting this energy with you guys at the moment that you're overwhelmed, pulled in too many different directions, like even some of you in a state of like indecision at this point in time. Spirit's talking a lot about maybe even some of you being at a crisis point, yeah, maybe even being at like this point where things need to pivot, things need to shift. Spirit's calling it the tipping point. And there's also a lot of stuff around like you guys seeing something that you were unable to see before, and really having a deep understanding of potentially even your lack in the past, your inability to see, is what Spirit's saying. So there is a strong connection here to the number 88, and I'm also getting no longer silent. Yeah, so there is something that you may be speaking up about, maybe something that it's something that's quite pivotal. Spirit's saying to me, it's definitely a crisis, it's definitely a tipping point, and it's definitely something that you can no longer look away from, is how Spirit's presenting this energy. For some of you, you're in this state of like chaos, birthing creation. Yeah, there is a lot of, your energy's heavy. That's the way that I need to present this message, is that at this current point in time, there may be a lot coming down on top of you. You may be feeling really dense and heavy and tired and exhausted within your own body, within your own psyche, and particularly feeling this sense of like there's emotion that you're carrying, and you may be finding it hard to express that emotion or hard to share that emotion, or being, Spirit's even saying like feeling that your emotions are like dismissed by those that you care about the most, okay? So yeah, your energy is really, really heavy as we're coming into it, and it has been, you know, as I've been, you know, reading into the collective energy and doing sign-specific channeling. What I'm seeing throughout the collective is that Spirit's saying a certain amount of pressure applied either produces a diamond or it crushes something completely and destroys it. All right, I'm getting a lot of stuff around Immaculate Conception. I'm getting a lot of stuff around new connections being forged at this point in time. Spirit's saying to trust the people, trust the energies, trust the experiences that like come across your path, because everything is either a lesson or a blessing. Yeah, that's how we want you to look at this. You may be getting this sense that there's something coming. That's how Spirit's presenting it to me. So whether it's like, you know, your anticipation around what it is that you want to do, or what you want to express, or what you want to share with the world, or whether there's this like Spirit saying whether it's doom and gloom and you're just expecting something to happen. There is this energy that's telling me that there's Spirit saying like things are intensifying, things are starting to become more chaotic, things are starting to become clearer, in the sense of even through the chaos, your vision is becoming clear. Yeah, you're starting to really see things that you didn't see previously, things that you potentially wanted to look away from even. And so there is this energy around supporting yourself through that, but also not gaslighting yourself. Yeah, just being with whatever comes up, whether or not it's uncomfortable. It does seem like it's something that you can no longer deny, is how Spirit's presenting this energy. All right, so I've got a quote for you guys, and it says, while much is too strange to be believed, Nothing is too strange to have happened. And that was said by Thomas Hardy. Spirit's talking a lot about like universal rebalancing and things coming through that will absolutely help the collective to ascend. But the ascension process is not easy. The ascension process is not smooth. It's not calm. It's not, you know, composed and demure and all the rest of it. It's really messy. It's really confronting. It's really overwhelming. And it can be something that is absolutely like discombobulating. Yeah, everything that you thought you knew is now being called into question. And so this is that tipping point. This is that crisis point where it's up to you to see the truth. It's up to you to, Spirit saying, to harness your truth. There's something about you wanting to do something with this new epiphany, with this new lesson, with this new growth that you've accumulated over the last cycle. Spirit's bringing me the song You're the Voice by John Farnham. I would definitely say to look at the lyrics of that song if you're not familiar with it. It's a mind-blowing song. Definitely look at the lyrics of that. Spirit's also talking to me about, I was getting the word cannons, and I'm not gonna lie, when they said cannons, I was imagining like a Disney pirate ship with like, you know, like cannons, like bombs and stuff. So that was definitely the vibe that I got through that. Then Spirit told me I had the spelling wrong. So it was cannons as in C-A-N-O-N. C-A-N-O-N. Yeah, and it's a collection or list of sacred books accepted as genuine, or a general law, rule, principle, or criterion by which something is judged. And like that comes into, like, they're bringing the Bible through here, and there's a few other things that are just, the canons was definite. It's like Spirit's talking about like generally accepted, widely accepted. Whether or not it's accurate, it is generally accepted, is what Spirit's saying to me. Okay, I'm getting a lot of stuff around high-pitched sound and even like sound waves at this point in time. And the way that I'm seeing this is maybe even like Spirit's saying defense frequencies. I'm also getting stuff around like sacred texts and labels and structures being abolished and changed, and that is that tipping point energy coming through again. Spirit's also talking to me about 7-year cycles, and that may be coming up in your own personal life where you're looking at the last 7 years and then you're deciding what you're going to do with the next 7. Spirit's talking to me about Spirit's talking to me about Taoist beliefs and traditions and like following the Chinese culture. So some of you may have Chinese heritage, you may just have an interest in, you know, the Chinese zodiac and the way that their philosophy, Spirit's saying to me. A lot of stuff around capital letters, and particularly names that are in capital letters, and I'm specifically seeing the names on boats, how they're always in capital letters. This month, Spirit's talking about a truth coming out when least expected, and that could be that tipping point, that could be that crisis point, that could also just be like some type of internal truth that's coming up for you, and you're now starting to see it, you're starting to clock it, is what Spirit's saying to me. Spirit's also talking about, you know, and like this is a big one, this is actually like, I can speak to this from experience, let's put it that way. Spirit's talking about angels descending to earth at this point in time and inhabiting human bodies in order to direct, herd, show us the way if need be to safety, is how Spirit's presenting it. So there may be somebody that comes into your life that you recognize immediately is different, is helpful, is pure in some way that you've not really encountered before. This is an angel in human form that you are encountering, and that has come across your path for the purpose of redirection, is how Spirit's presenting this energy. And I don't want you guys to discredit the power of these cosmic forces and how they are descending down to this denser plane, purely for the fact that, you know, humans are elevating their consciousness. The Christ consciousness is becoming, more widely accepted, shall we say. And so with that, it gives Spirit's talking about the frequency with which we need to radiate in order to allow these energies to come through and make contact with us, okay? There is this really strong energy around ancestors are coming through loud and strong in support of people's journeys, in support of people's struggles, and particularly in support of this crisis point, the tipping point that we're seeing here. Yeah, and this is collective, but Spirit's told me very much to like hone it in on the Capricorn reading, because there's something about this that's going to be very much, Spirit just said led by you. All right, and so I specifically got calling for you, yeah? So you may have a sense that someone's calling for you or something is calling for you. And it does seem like this is a call to action, is how Spirit's presenting this energy. It feels like there's something within this that's very much delicate. There's something within this that's very much like you're uncertain. You may be being pulled in too many different directions at once, and yet you feel this call. You feel this sense of something that is greater, something that is... All right, yeah, I'm struggling with this energy, I must admit. It's quite hard. It was hard to channel, it's hard to deliver, and I'm not entirely sure how well it will be received, in the sense of, I'm not trying to frighten anyone, I'm trying to empower you, but there is this point that we will all come to where things need to shift, yeah, and it's not just with Pluto moving in to Aquarius. This is the tipping point, this is the revolution, this is the age of Aquarius that we've all been waiting for, we've all been working towards, and there is something around you, Spirit saying, leading the charge. All right, other messages that I got for you were that you're well cared for at this point in time, and if you go back over the memories of the hardest, most difficult, most isolating times in your life, if you look back, you will see that you made it through them and that you were well cared for by the universe, at the very least, at those times. There is a lot around like ancestral and spiritual support, guiding you and helping you and holding you even during this shift. Yeah, a lot of talk about reflective cycles, patterns. Accountability is as much individual as it is societal or familial. They're talking about frequency shifts affecting the physical body, solar flares. They're talking about regeneration. They're talking about ancients returning. Yeah, and this can be the ancients returning, or this can be ancient ways of being, ancient ways of thinking, ancient ways of tradition, even coming back into this cycle. And we are bringing it back. We are anchoring this light. We are bringing... Spirit saying it's the ancestral memory rising to the surface, yeah, because people are now able to make the connection within the mind and then do something with that, take action as a result of the lessons that have been learned. Spirit saying to me. All right, some of you at this point in time are experiencing like family issues. There may be something around, I'm getting toxic masculinity. That's what's been happening. I'm seeing it on the collective, and I'm seeing it on the individual scale, where there is a lot of ego coming to the forefront, and it's almost like it's the ego's last-ditched attempt at maintaining control, is how Spirit's presenting this to me. A lot of you will be getting messages through the dream state. A lot of you will be having even specific messages coming to you through songs, paying attention to what sits right, paying attention to what gives you that little ping, what gives you that little spark of, hang on a minute, pay attention. There is something to be said about the things that we overhear and the double meanings behind them, and I'm getting confirmation on this as well. Yeah, so there is a lot to be said for just paying attention, being observant, and being very open to the information coming to you from a multitude of different sources in a multitude of different ways. And then also, trusting in your ability to decipher that, trusting in your ability to know what's true, know what's not, and then also to know what's your responsibility to take care of with that truth. There is a lot of stuff coming through around like nighttime disturbances, like feeling really unsteady, uncertain, maybe even feeling unsafe in some situations. Yeah, this is the point where I really want you to rely on your ancestors, rely on the earth. She's your mother. You have to do absolutely nothing for her to support you. You just lean into that support, and it will always be there for you. There is a lot of stuff coming through around Spirit's bringing back the angels. They're saying that in these times of need, there is always support. And it's just up to you to be able to recognize what's support and what's suppression, what's giving you contraction and what's giving you expansion, yeah? All right, some stuff coming through around like CDs and older music. Also some stuff coming through around breakfast or coffee in bed with someone that you love, yeah? It's very much like either you're being served breakfast in bed or you're enjoying breakfast in bed. There's something about the togetherness of this. Spirit's also talking to me a lot about partnership, and they're talking about 50-50. And so whether this is that you're lacking equal reciprocity in your partnerships, or whether this is something that's really being appreciated and felt and highlighted for you at this time, like the giving back is definitely highlighted for you guys. All right, some of you will have a throat chakra activation that's occurring at this point in time. And again, you know, there's always some form of contraction before expansion, yeah? There is always some kind of like deep dive that happens before we then come up and ascend into the next level of who we are as a human and how we're developing, yeah? Spirit's talking a lot about this throat chakra activation could have even been occurring for you over like a period of the last 2 years. This could be beginning now and go on for the next 2 years. So yeah, put that energy where that fits for you guys. All right, so we're going to move into your tarot portion now, my darlings. I understand that this reading feels a little bit all over the shop. I do apologize. Spirit's been really pushy for me to get these messages out, and I just haven't felt like doing it. I'll be honest. I've been really tired, and I just didn't really want to come. I didn't want to get in front of the camera. Didn't. So there is this energy of you like, okay, yeah. Spirit was saying to me yesterday as well, some of you are shirking your responsibilities. Yeah, it is my responsibility to get these messages out. It is my responsibility to, you know, try and deliver them in a way that's going to be not only well received, but easily understood. Yeah, and for those of you that are resonating with this, I hope you can appreciate that it is sometimes quite difficult to, for one, it's quite difficult to put the energy and the messages that Spirit's giving me into human words when sometimes it comes to as a frequency rather than like direct wording. And then other times when it is direct wording, it's really hard for me to try and make that more generalized and easily accessible for the greater good, yeah, rather than it just being something like super duper specific. There is something about that, okay? So you may be feeling that there's this sense of like, it's overwhelmed. That's what it is. It's overwhelmed. It may even be frustration. It may even be that like you don't exactly know what it is. Like we've got the Tower here. This is that crumbling of structures. This is things being abolished. This is things no longer, Spirit saying no longer standing. Show me what I need to see for Kathy. There has been a shock factor here for you. Yeah, and this is new information that's come to you. Sometimes, like, do we even need the cards? Should we just do the channel messages? All right, what I'm getting with this is that somebody else has potentially been the person that kind of like pulled the wool from your eyes. Like somebody else may have brought this tower to you or unveiled this tower even. Like there is something around somebody else coming through with further information that does cause a tower. It did cause a shock. There is something within this that's telling me that you were feeling unprepared for whatever this information was. What else do I need to see for Kathy? Spirit's bringing through like the number 7 again, like really strong, the number 7. See, and the Tower reduces to a 7. Yeah, so this is that shift. This is the perspective. This is you seeing something that you were previously unable to see. And it is absolutely through chaos. It is absolutely through the dismantling or destruction of something. Yeah, whether this was societal, cultural, religious, familial, personal, whatever this is for you, something came in tore down the old structures. You learned from that and are continuing to learn from that. And now I see you being in a very different position to where you were at the beginning of this. And it's not to take away from how hard and confronting this energy is, because it is. It's a confrontation at the very least, yeah? And you're not comfortable, you're not happy about this. You don't have to be happy about this, but you do have to learn from this, is what Spirit's saying to me. This energy is hard. It is. It's really hard to get through, and I'm sending you guys all of my love and reminding you, as I always do, to be really gentle with yourself through this process, because the dismantling of anything, whether it be external to you or internal, yeah, the deconstruction of that which we are familiar with, that which we feel safe within, that which we are used to, yeah, that which we have come to know as normal and okay, and whatever the rest, like whatever the case may be. When these things come crumbling down, when we are awakened to our own personal truth, or the truth of the universe, or whatever this is, yeah, when this comes through, it's very hard to handle. There's a lot of mess, there's a lot of cleanup, there's a lot of shedding that needs to happen as this comes through. What I'm saying here is that for some of you, like, there is a knowing. There is a deep sense of knowing that A, maybe this was going to happen, B, how you were going to get through it, or C, like, there is this undercurrent of, like, maybe you were in denial for a short time. This other person that brings through information is going to be of aid to you, though. I am seeing this person, whether it's a physical person in your life, whether it's a spirit guide, or even like some kind of mentor that you're following their teaching, something like that. There is something within this that's telling me that, yeah, you're feeling very sure of the support that you've got to get through this. And for some of you, yeah, it's taking you away from places, people, things that you were quite committed to in the past, yeah. There is a sense of sadness, there is a sense of loss, there is this, I'm getting 222 as a confirmation. There is a lot here that's telling me that even though you may not be happy about it, you are really sure of your next move. And it's because of what's happened here. Spirit's bringing me back to this. Life is a series of choices and choosing love, yeah? And if you come up against an issue and you're finding yourself really, unsure in this state of indecision, like just not knowing what to do, yeah, get out of the head. You've got to stop letting the head try and figure things out, yeah? Respect your intellect and thank it for doing its job of trying to rationalize and intellectualize all of this stuff that's happening externally and internally, yeah? And what Spirit's saying is to drop it down into the heart space. The heart knows what's true, the heart knows what's correct, and the heart actually knows the navigation for your soul, yeah? And there's no right or wrong way to navigate this planet and to navigate these lifetimes, yeah? We all become very caught up in the mind, yeah? And what the mind is telling us is right, wrong, up, down, fears, all the rest of it coming into play. Spirit's saying to me that through this process, you will start to learn to trust your intuition more. You will start to follow that deep inner knowing that's telling you that something's not right, something needs to shift. This is that tipping point, yeah? And I think that sadness and loss need to be recognized. It's not something that you should turn away from. To honor your pain is your responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility. It's yours. And there is this, I'm hearing bleeding on other people. Like, so you may feel that you can't share in your sadness or share in your experience or even express it to certain people because you don't want to bleed on them, so to speak. But what I'm seeing here is that you can't contain it all within yourself. It will weigh you down if you don't share what's happening to you and what you're experiencing. It is happening on the collective. It's not just for you guys, Capricorn. Like, this energy is really, really intense and it's coming through. Spirit's now even saying that calling for you could be the higher calling. The higher calling of stepping into your individuality, of stepping into your purpose, of taking inspired action. Whether or not other people agree with it, whether or not other people can see the value in it, whether or not other people even think that it's a risky move or a Spirit saying like deconstructive move, like damaging even. if this is you that's like creating the tower, if this is you that's like doing, saying, bringing something through that's going to really tear down old constructs, what I think needs to be on it here is the information that is backing this move. Yeah, your intellect that's telling you that what you feel intuitively is actually correct. And the way that this is coming through is that this is going to be the perspective shift. By taking this move, by making this bold action, whatever this is, yeah, whether it came to you or whether it's you putting it out there is a perspective shift that happens here. There is something that's surrendered and put to rest, and then there's something birthed anew from that. And there's an irritation. Some of you are looking at it like it's too much work, there's too much to do, there's too much to even unravel or tidy up in the wake of this. This energy is super hard to read, you guys. I must say that. There is a feeling of like doom and gloom. As I'm sitting in this energy and I'm getting the 555 confirmation there is this energy of like overwhelming pressure, overwhelming thoughts, overwhelming opinions, like conflict of interest kind of stuff is coming through. And I am seeing sadness, I am seeing loss, I am seeing Spirit saying a recognition of that loss even. Show me what Cappy needs to see, because I don't really even understand what. It's the undercurrent. This is what rebirth does. Okay, Spirit's talking to me about, I'm getting Persephone, but they're talking to me about going into the underworld and the things that you retrieve from that place. And it's personal. This is personal progression. What they're talking about, they're showing me this woman underneath here, where she sees clearly. Yeah, and it may be you on the surface here that has your eyes closed, doesn't want to see the truth, doesn't want to even believe the truth. I'm really being called to the sword here. And it may be that it's too emotionally confronting for you with these cups. Something about the 11th of this month will be significant for you guys as well. Obviously, we have a lot coming through around the 8th for this month, and I want you guys to just take care of yourself in whatever way that shows up in your world. Know that you are safe, know that you are protected, and know that you are divinely guided upon your path and upon your journey. Spirit's talking to me about the discomfort that one must go through in order to find peace within the emotional state. You may be feeling that you're confronted with opposing emotions, like you may feel there's this conflict of interest that's coming through. There's this feeling of not knowing whether you're top or tail. There's this feeling of not being entirely sure of what your emotions are trying to tell you, maybe even feeling overwhelmed by said emotions, yeah, and then not knowing what to do with it. All right, give me advice for this reading, Spirit. What the fuck is going on here? This is societal. This is bigger than just you. This is something that impacts like those around you as well. Abso-fucking-lutely. The advice is, okay, so the advice for some of you is to rest and retreat. That is what's coming through here, is to take the time to go through what's happened mentally, yeah, and then to allow that to filter down into the heart space. There is this really intense energy here of darkness, of sadness, of chaos, of frustration, of feeling that maybe even things are repeating and you just can't seem to get off the merry-go-round. Like, this energy is super, super hard to get through. And I'm sending you guys so much love, because when I'm sitting in this, it feels like it's taken you right down to the core of who you are, and it's called into question everything you thought to be true. And it's not just you, it's those around you as well, Spirit's saying. This is the new beginning that we all need though, and this does feel like on a grand scale. This does feel like this is collective. This, like, I almost made this reading a collective reading, but Spirit really wants me to go in on the sign-specific readings, because people need that general support. They need that, Spirit saying people like the labels. Yeah, you do. You like a label. I know some of you only will watch your specifically titled readings. And my personal opinion is that you're missing out, is that you're limiting yourself in some way, shape or form by doing that. But I do understand that people like to really identify with certain things, and that is what's coming through here. What I'm saying is Spirit saying it's a clearing of the slate. And it's a clearing of the slate that causes stress, anxiety, maybe even arguments, among those that you care about the most. Clarify the Fool. This new beginning, right? It does seem like it's one that comes with a deeper understanding of human connection. It comes with a deeper understanding of even, Spirit saying, even just like humanity as a whole. And I am seeing like this could even be like something global that comes through. And it's from the fucking water. I'm telling you now, right? We got this. We did get this. He who is of the water. Specifically those words. He who is of the water. That's what I got for your reading. I'm also getting something about blueberry that I didn't say earlier. And now in this Empress card, which is a beautiful card, I'm only just realizing now this is fish. This is water. It's comforting though. It's not by accident that this card is here for your reading. There is something about the clouds. There is something about the water. There is something about this being global. I'll say that. This energy, whether it is a global event that restructures things or tears things down and changes things, or whether this is something that's very close to home, very personal to you. You will be affected by this. You will be affected by this so much so that there will be restructuring. Spirit's even saying like a redefining of boundary lines. I'm seeing a lot of planning in the future as well. And maybe making plans that you're not 100% confident with. You're not 100% sure are the right way to move. And so when you're feeling this state of indecision, trust in, the universe's ability to hold you and to guide you, but also your ability to, Spirit saying, navigate even the trickiest of paths. You may feel that some of the moves that you are deciding to take or deciding are appropriate may be deemed foolish to other people. Maybe other people are struggling to accept what this is. Spirit's bringing me back to that Immaculate Conception now. Now they're showing me wings. See, this is that tide turning. This is that shift that needs to happen. Astrologically, for the sake of humanity, for the evolution of us as a species. This has to happen. There has to be some kind of massive shift that comes into play. And it's not to say that it's going to be pretty, and it's not to say that it's going to be easy, but it is to say that if you're here watching this, you've obviously aligned yourself with the frequency of truth. You've obviously aligned yourself with the frequency of growth and expansion. And I do see that this is predestined, and not for that reason evil. There is something around this that is absolutely cosmic. It is. There's a cosmic rebalancing that's coming through. All right, give me last messages for Cappy here, please. They do want this. There is something around this that is going to be a gift to you. Whether or not it seems like that in the beginning, there is definitely going to be something that is tempered. There is definitely something that's divinely guided. There is definitely Spirit saying interference even from interference from the powers that be is what Spirit's saying to me. With this, I do think this is going to bring you into further alignment with not only yourself, but those around you. There is something around you finding your tribe in this next cycle, and it's through the degradation of whatever this was. Maybe this is really where, whatever this is happens, and you're immediately able to see who is supportive and who is suppressive of your journey. And it doesn't have to be such a negative thing. It can be really good to be able to look at someone and recognize that, yes, I may love that person, I may care for that person, and yet they don't support my evolution. To be able to hold that to account within yourself. You don't even have to share it with that person, but to be able to recognize immediately that person is not going to be supportive of me, my path, my plans, and yet being still able to love them and to have relationship with them, but then to alter that relationship in a way that protects your path, protects your purpose, protects what it is that you're trying to do. There is a lot here to be said around like the shadow. Like all of these parts within ourselves that we don't want to look at, and yet can really become like the puppet master if we don't. Spirit's saying it like it's personal accountability. It's really interesting the way this is like swinging between like humanity as a whole and then bringing it back to the personal. And this is what we've seen with the spiritual evolution. Every single human that is on the path of conscious reprogramming and awakening their Christ consciousness and elevating, their emotional capacity and their intellectual capacity, and particularly their spiritual capacity, what we're recognizing is that this can no longer be the ruler. This can no longer be something that we don't look at. This has to be something that is rebalanced, readjusted in some way, because it's not working. And you recognize that. You can see that. You can see that very clearly. All right, I'm just going to see, there's mess around this. There's this feeling of like not even wanting to tidy it up. Like there's this feeling of like, maybe like throwing it all away. Like that does honestly how this, like this is how this is coming through. And I'm seeing you like, all right, let's get one from the Talking to Heaven Oracle, which is, this is what this card came from. Show me one card here for the collective and for Cappy's energy, please. I have a new understanding. You will start to understand what this means. You will start to see how this is. Spirit is showing me like ripples into waves. Again with the water. One more from this. And then we'll move into the secrets of the ancestors. Some of you are really missing somebody that's passed at the moment, and maybe even like looking at photos of that person or something like that. For others of you, this is memories of people that you will no longer have, the same kind of relationship with due to whatever's happening here. And this does feel very much like spiritual awakening, like when you wake up and suddenly everything around you looks very different. The relationships that you've got, the way that you view yourself in conjunction to these relationships, all of the past and the history can take a very different tone with retrospection. Spirit is sending you signs. Spirit is sending you signs in the form of nature, in the form of words that are very specifically attuned to your frequency. Spirit's also talking about not being afraid at this point in time, and I can feel the fear. I can feel the fear that's like permeating through the collective at this point in time. For you guys, Cappy, it does seem to be fear around stability. Fear around what you're going to do to maintain your stability, fear around the unknown. Look, the trickster, ego, and excess. And this is where we've been. This is where we're coming from. This is what, you know, essentially will bring the tower down, shall we say. See, and I've got the patriarch here, right? And we were getting that earlier about like the toxic masculinity at this point in time, yeah? With this card, it's unapologetic. Yeah, maybe this is you starting to find more healthy ways to stand in your power, to become, you know, very rigidly defensive of your truth, but in such a way that's not toxic and is not harmful, is very protective, is very sacred, is what Spirit's saying. Some of you are dealing with an Aquarius at this point in time, or an air sign that's helping you to develop this deeper understanding. And something about technology. There's something about technology either shutting down or shifting or being cut off in some way. And it's not just the pivot point. There will be a shutdown of something. Whether that's you shutting down communication, whether that's, you know, technology, the boundaries, man. And the shaman, trust your path, with total disruption underneath it. All right, I'm going to read you one of these messages from the book. So we'll read the Patriarch Unapologetic for you guys. All right, so the tarot correspondence to this is the Emperor, if I didn't already say that. You will achieve what you have set out to do. The Patriarch steps up to remind you that you are the leader of your own life. Things are more stable and secure than you think. Your fears are lying to you. You have the wisdom that the situation requires. This ancestor may also come forward when the authoritative energy around you is overpowering you. My dear one, stand up straight and own your power. The Patriarch shows up here as the Messiah Elder Chief. The Patriarch is a calm, experienced, and ambitious leader with loving and supportive divine masculine energy. This is what we need to see. Yeah, and any of you masculines that are standing in your truth and letting the ego, you know, become a thing of the past, or, you know, not even a thing of the past, just developing a healthier relationship with your ego, yeah? This is what the earth really, really needs. This is what the divine feminines are doing all the work for, to kind of pave the path so that you can step into your own divinity, your own truth, your own healthy masculine energy, which is loving and protective and supportive, yeah? This paternal ancestor can be seen as assertive or aggressive, depending on the viewpoint. Act as if you are regal, act as if you are powerful, act as if you are wise. This is a different frequency than fake it till you make it. You have no need to fake anything. Your arteries and bones remember the royalty in your DNA. I owe no apology for walking in my power. And 35, which is, I do believe she's the Queen of Swords, yeah. So, stay true to what feels right for you. Honor your boundaries, approach with discernment, speak your truth, and make decisions based on your assessment of the facts. Be upfront. Sorry, I was checking the time. Be upfront, honest, and direct, but be aware even constructive criticism can be wielded like a weapon. When this blunt mama ancestor shows up, she wants you to be logical and unbiased with strong communication. The Mother of Air is a leader who brings wise crone energy. This matriarchal ancestor rules with an iron fist from the head and never the heart. Her compassion is often underestimated at first glance. The Mother of Air appears as La Madama, an African Caribbean spirit family, gifted in intuition, oracles, and alchemy. She's been coming to me and I haven't looked into her at all. I haven't acknowledged her, and she's here, and I'm super, super grateful that she's made her presence known. Like, I've been getting this name. I didn't even know that she was in this deck, and here she is. She wields a broom as a wand. Oral history says that this ancestor was an enslaved woman who worked on the plantations in the Spanish-speaking Caribbean. Are you suppressing your emotions? We all have those hard-edged queens in our lineage. You don't want to get on their bad side. Where can you use this wisdom in your life? I speak with clarity. All right, we do just have time for one more. We'll use the shaman here. Number 5, trust your path. All right, setbacks are a part of your growth. You are trying to figure out what to do. The answer is do the right thing. You are way more than the present moment. There is a spiritual solution for every challenge. You have a need for the very structures and guidance you usually run away from. You are on a path, my beloved. You are trying to fit into a group, but you naturally stand out. Traditional structures are your friend in this moment. In other words, don't rock the boat. Interesting. The shaman shows up in the energy of the great ancestor. I'm not even going to try and say that. I will show it to you. That, and that. Healer, storyteller, philosopher, and artist. He's known as a Zulu shaman. The shaman is a personal messenger from the divine, a wise counselor and mentor. Wounded healer, take care of yourself. Yes, your pains and traumas allow you to help others. Turn this energy of love inward now. The tarot correspondence to this is the Hierophant, and I honor my own path and connection to the divine. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you cannot make sense of the signs and the signals that Spirit's sending to you, ask them to simplify it. Yeah, Spirit will make it very easy for you to decode the messages of the universe. The universe will speak to you in your own personal language. Yeah, they make it very easy. And what I'm seeing at the moment is that there is a lot of ancestral support coming through. There is the gods, the goddesses, our angels, our ancestors. They see our plight, they see our stress, they see our pain, and they are descending in order to help elevate us as a species and as a planet through this. This huge shift that is about to occur is absolutely individual, but it will be felt and the ripples will become waves in the collective, okay? So this message was tough to get through. Those of you that resonated with this, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, all that jazz. You know, you guys know what to do. And anyone that's feeling a sense of, overwhelming dread, reach out to someone. I can be that someone if you have no one else to reach out to, okay? So yeah, surrounding yourself with loving energies, whether they be human, insects, angels, ancestors, aliens, whatever it is that feels supportive of you. Know that you are never alone. Never, ever, ever. The lighthouse is significant. And although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. Tears cleanse the soul. All right, my darlings. I'm really glad that this reading's over, to be fair. I'm sending you guys all my love because this was a wacko reading. Ducks and swans are going to be significant. It's also something about like dead birds. If you guys are seeing dead birds, pay attention. Yeah, really paying attention to what's around you at this point in time and how this could potentially be, a sign from the universe, a message from the universe. Some of you are receiving warnings from the universe at this point in time. So take heed, take care of yourself, take care of your surroundings, take care of those that you love. Yeah, super heavy energy to get through. I will be coming back through with, a collective reading, hopefully this afternoon. But, I'm sending you guys all my love. Anyway, best of luck with that.